Here's more wrestling news for June 28, 2021. And your headlines for this afternoon include: former WWE champion says WWE doesn't need him right now. MVP backstage at WWE NXT this week. Cardi B inspired WWE superstar's nickname. MJF not likely getting AEW world title shot anytime soon. I've been preparing to get fired since the day I got hired. Tyler Breeze breaks silence on his WWE release. Released WWE superstar shows off incredible physical transformation. Santino Marella's daughter Bianca Carelli describes what happened during her WWE tryout in 2019. Brock Lesnar accused of choking in a lot of big matches, and more. We're starting off with John Cena, whose return to WWE in time for SummerSlam is practically guaranteed at this point, especially with WWE wanting this year's show to be as big as WrestleMania 37. There's even a rumor that the 16-time WWE World Champion will be returning as a heel using an attire designed over a decade ago, and Cena himself has said he's not had his last match in WWE. Whilst all signs point to a Cena return, this isn't necessary according to the man himself, who spoke to Complex News this week, saying, "WWE is already a global phenomenon with or without John Cena, and that's proven before I got there and certainly now that I'm not there anymore and they're still thriving. They don't need me, but it's such an honor and a privilege to walk in that locker room and be able to go out and perform." WWE may not need Cena, but they certainly want him to help boost the ever-dwindling ratings of their shows, and whether as a face or a heel, we expect Cena to bring back some fans when he eventually returns. Over to Raw, and since returning to WWE last year, MVP has done incredible work as the manager of WWE champion Bobby Lashley, but the former US champion isn't just on the red brand. Fightful Select reports that MVP was at NXT this week, despite being a contracted main roster performer, and it's unclear why he was on the gold brand. MVP was originally brought back as a producer, but that job was nixed when live touring was scrapped, and he's since worked as an on-screen performer and done an excellent job. Damian Priest was also recently spotted at NXT, though it's reported that this isn't uncommon for him, though it is a first for MVP. MVP's timing is interesting, as it's been reported that several NXT call-ups will happen as part of the 2021 draft, which begins in August, meaning it's possible that the manager was scouting his next signing to the Hurt Business. We're focusing on pop music now, as Cardi B has been an influence for many people around the world, and one person who's been inspired by her is John Morrison. Recently, Morrison has been referring to himself as Johnny Drip Drip, and that name all began thanks to the Grammy Award-winning rapper. That's according to Frankie Monet, Morrison's wife, who spoke to Rick Ucchino about her husband's career, saying that he's having the most fun he's had in a very long time. Discussing Johnny Drip Drip, the NXT superstar explained that it all started with a car ride to an Impact taping where she, Morrison, Tessa Blanchard, and Kiera Hogan were riding together. She added, "John, I don't know if anybody knows this, but John likes to rap. He started rapping to Cardi B. It was within that car ride that Johnny Drip Drip was born. I don't even remember who it was that said, 'Oh my god, Johnny Drip Drip,' and it just became a thing." It's been reported that Cardi B will be the host of this year's SummerSlam, though that hasn't been confirmed by WWE themselves yet, but if it happens, Morrison will be able to thank her in person for inspiring his current nickname. AEW news next, and MJF is one of the company's top heels, refusing to break character whether he's in or out of the ring. As of late, the Pinnacle leader has been feuding with Sammy Guevara, but fans shouldn't expect MJF to win when the pair finally square off on next week's Dynamite. During Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer explained why Guevara will get the win, saying, "Sammy should win because MJF's only lost one match in the entire time in the company, and he's not getting a title shot probably with Omega as champion, so that's months and months. So it's time for MJF to lose, so it's time for Sammy to get that win." Right now, both men's singles titles in AEW are held by heels, namely Kenny Omega and Miro, and with MJF being arguably the best heel in the company, fans shouldn't expect a title reign for him until some babyfaces hold the gold. Back to WWE, and last week Tyler Breeze was released, bringing his 11-year tenure with the company to an end. During that time, Breeze appeared on both NXT and the main roster, and leaves a one-time NXT Tag Team Champion with Fandango. go. Given that he's a mainstay of Xavier Woods' Up Up Down Down YouTube channel, Breeze's departure was a shock to many fans, and during a Twitch stream, the former superstar was asked where he saw his release coming. He replied, "An 11-year run in the biggest wrestling company in the world is like unheard of, you know what I mean? It's a huge thing. Most people are only in WWE for like 3 to 5 years, so the fact that I was there for 11? Fantastic! More than I could ever ask for. So I mean, I don't know if you're ever like expecting, but I mean from definitely like the rumblings and stuff that have been happening, the thing too, especially for me, is like I've been preparing to get fired since the day that I got hired." Unfortunately, Breeze didn't mention if he'd be allowed to keep appearing on Up Up Down Down, but we imagine that it's still being worked out behind the scenes. Breeze explained that most careers in WWE may last 3 to 5 years, so for him to last 11 years is incredible, but now the former superstar will have to make it on his own after a decade away from the independent scene. Buddy Murphy was also released from WWE this month, and although he's still in the middle of his 90-day non-compete clause, the former Cruiserweight champion has been keeping busy in the gym. On Sunday, Murphy shared a photo of his impressive physical transformation on Instagram, saying that the chip on his shoulder is getting bigger, calling himself the hungriest wolf. Murphy was released as part of 6 Cuts on June 2nd, and in a post-release statement, vowed to show why he was WWE's best-kept secret. After his release, it was reported that several indie promotions had a significant interest in Murphy, as they believe that he will have dream matches with top indie wrestlers, but that'll have to wait until his non-compete clause expires on August 31st. In 2014, Joe Rogan caught heat from wrestling fans when comparing it to MMA, saying at the time that wrestling was, quote, "some weird jerk-off thing that strange guys do when they sit in front of the TV." Later on, Rogan would apologize, saying he doesn't hate pro wrestling and has clearly had a change of heart in the years since then. Yesterday, Rogan took to Instagram to praise the WWE documentaries on A&E, saying he's beginning to truly understand the industry. Rogan admitted that he may have been high, but his comment got a reply from The Rock, who said he'd love to get drunk or high and discuss wrestling with him. Interestingly, the Great One said that being a wrestler was at one time the best job in the world, perhaps a dig at the current state of the industry, and time will tell whether Rogan and The Rock get to talk wrestling face-to-face, because the Brahma Bull certainly wants it to happen. Virgil news next, and the former WWE superstar is always looking to make a quick buck, and the ongoing global situation hasn't stopped him from trying to make money. Recently, Virgil was spotted at a table on Hollywood Boulevard selling 8x10s and other merchandise, and when a fan snapped a video of him, Virgil revealed some big plans. According to the man himself, Virgil will bring an end to poverty as we know it on July 4th, thanks to a new game called Meat Sauce Madness. That game will focus on Virgil, now called Soul Train Jones, and players will control him as he dashes to collect dollars, breadsticks, and meat sauce. We're not quite sure how this new game will help Virgil end poverty, as an estimated 43.96 million US citizens live below the poverty line, meaning the former superstar has a lot to do ahead of the game's July 4th launch. In 2019, Bianca Carelli, the daughter of Santino Marella, had a tryout for WWE and is now speaking about that experience. Talking on the Chris Van Vliet podcast recently, Bianca discussed her wrestling career and was willing to admit that her dad probably helped her get chosen by WWE for the tryout. Saying that she went into that tryout with 13 matches to her name, Carelli said the experience was breathtaking and overwhelming, though she said it was very intimidating to be in the venue. Though most tryouts last 5 days, Bianca said hers lasted 2 days and added that she wishes she could have shown how much heart she has for the industry. She admitted that she doesn't feel like she fully showed how much heart she has for WWE, and it obviously wasn't enough to earn her a full-time spot in WWE, but was told to keep working and get more experience. It's no secret that WWE loves having second or third generation superstars, and we'll have to see if Bianca gets another chance to follow in her father's footsteps when she has more experience under her belt. And we're ending today with Brock Lesnar, who hasn't been seen in WWE since his WrestleMania 36 loss to Drew McIntyre, though rumors continue to circulate that he'll be returning soon. Whilst it's been believed that Lesnar will return when live crowds do, that won't be the case, according to wrestling journalist Bill Apter. Speaking on Wrestling Inc. Daily, Apter discussed the possibility of Lesnar returning in time for the rumored SummerSlam match with Bobby Lashley, saying, "It's something that'll draw very well. I'm talking sports-wise, but there are a lot of big matches I noticed that Brock chokes. He doesn't do as well as he should. What's Paul Heyman going to do? I think that, at this point, Roman Reigns would probably be my focal point. I think Brock would come in and be like, 'Hey, what do you need this guy for?' Just a lot of different scenarios could go on." It's currently unknown when Lesnar will return to WWE TV, as his contract expired after WrestleMania 36. But if Apter is to be believed, the Beast won't be performing at his best when he eventually comes back. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.